Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I want to talk all about my social media internship, how I got my social media internship, my best application tips, general talk about how to get a social media internship. Maybe you're also interested in working in social media, marketing, public relations, just like in general the creative media industries. I have recently done a 3-month internship at a social media agency. I myself worked with a lot of social media clients, done social media freelance work. I've done a lot of interviews with like other companies, so I just really want to give you guys my best tips, my advice. I just have so many tips that I want to share with you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and also let me know down below in the comments if you want me to do more videos about like career advice. If you have any more questions, drop them down below. And I also made a video about a day in the life as a social media intern, so if you're interested in that, you should definitely check it out. It will be linked here and also down below in the description box. So this is future Laura tuning into the video. I just finished editing, but I totally forgot to mention to you that I made a really cool free PDF workbook guide that will help you to find your own USP to make any application a success. So in this free PDF workbook, which you can get using the link down below in the description box, you will figure out what makes you different and what makes you stand out from your competition when applying for your dream social media internship. I think whether you have a USP or not decides upon your success or not being successful in an application, so you do not want to miss out on that workbook. Again, it's linked down below in the description box. Okay, so the first point that I want to talk about is how do you actually find a social media internship? Like, how do you find out who is hiring? So LinkedIn is really great. You can create like your own profile. I highly recommend each and every one of you guys has a LinkedIn profile because it's just so great to get in contact with people, network and build connections with people that you look up to. I also always make sure to look into different Facebook groups and also on Twitter to see if anyone is hiring. So just type in like internships, whatever city, or like social media internship, social media marketing, intern, any of those buzzwords. I put them into social media, and that's really how you can find jobs as well. Not every company actually puts out like adverts. There are a lot of websites that advertise internships. Often on those sites you might have more competition of people applying. Leverage your personal network. So that's why I truly believe that it's important to make connections. You can then ask around and ask, is anyone hiring? Do you know anyone who's looking for interns? Look around maybe in the city you want to move to or wherever you want to do your internship at. Just look at cool social media agencies that you like and honestly just like write them an email or send them a DM on Instagram. Get really creative and just ask, hey, like, are you hiring? Are you looking for a social media intern? Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about, now that you've kind of found your place that you want to work at, now it's time to really hone in and build your skills. Often, obviously, even internships, which is kind of crazy, they demand work experience, which is hard because usually an internship is the way to get work experience, but I have a few tips for you on how you can get work experience without actually getting a job first or another internship. My first tip, and this is, I don't know if it's obvious, but this is just a non-negotiable for me, and it's to walk your talk and build your own social media presence. That means start a blog, start a YouTube channel, start a themed Instagram account, start a podcast, anything. Start building your own personal brand online, because this is really the best way that you can portray the skills that you have with social media, and it's just really the easiest way to get experience. Oh, hello there! If you've watched the video until here, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. However, what you could also do is to start doing social media for other people. So I'm kind of talking freelance work. Don't have to go out there and like register a business and start freelancing. Again, leverage your network and ask if anyone needs social media help. Like my first client kind of in social media marketing was my hairdresser, because I made her Facebook page and I did content for them. One of my first references that I can then also show to my clients, and that's kind of how you build up a portfolio of experience. So just ask around and ask people if you can help them with their social media. Put in a lot of effort, and then you can then use this as a testimonial and as a reference. My second tip on here is to build your actual skills. I got really good at video editing and social media content creation, personal branding, all of that, because I have my own YouTube channel, I do my own social media. Because of that, gives its experience to the agency that I'm working in. I would highly recommend you step up 3 skills, which first of all, it's graphic design. Very often if you work in social media and PR, you have to make your own graphics. As I said, not with every agency, but it's really, really helpful to kind of know graphic design as well, even if you hire it out to a graphic designer. In order to hire something out and to delegate something, I feel like it's always best to know it yourself. You can start practicing on Canva, for example, which is a free graphic design website. Learn to use Photoshop and Illustrator. I think that's really, really important as well. There are tons and tons of YouTube tutorials out there. There's also this really cool site which is called Skillshare. You can literally learn like everything. I would teach myself like how to write press releases and how to write better text and like copywriting. This is also the second skill I would recommend you to build, is like copywriting. Getting really good with like content marketing. Storytelling is so important. If you can't like express your own voice, you will never be able to express someone else's voice, which is really important in social media marketing, because every client you work for has a different tone, has a different style, has a different brand language. So it's really important that you know copywriting and you know how to transfer another business's voice as well. And then the third skill that I really highly recommend you to develop is video, right? Video editing. Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, iMovie, especially now with video being the most important format on social media, that you know how to edit videos. That will make you so valuable to social media agencies. You can also build your skills, and I think that this is really something that shows whether you have passion for it or not, is to read books about like marketing and sales psychology, human psychology. Really quick, I want to give you some book recommendations that I have. First is Tribes by Seth Godin. Second is All Marketers Are Liars by Seth Godin as well. Like Seth Godin writes really great marketing books, and Tribes is basically about like the power of community, how to be a leader, leadership, build a following basically for yourself. And then All Marketers Are Liars is about storytelling and how to tell good stories, which again, I think it's one of the most important skills that you need to have. The third one is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is an incredible book, and it's all about like the basics of communication, which again, if you work in social media, will work in a team most of the time, so you have to be good at communicating, but also to communicate with clients and to communicate with followers online, right? And to just be a good communicator in general. Fourth, Psychology of Selling by Brian Tracy, which is just like the basics of sales psychology, like why people buy, and just understanding all of that, which is so important as well, because one of the big goals obviously with social media and marketing is to sell. How to sell generally will really help you to sell yourself, because when you're applying for a job, an internship, you are selling yourself basically. Yes, and then for podcasts, highly recommend podcasts as well. My favorites are the Angie Lee Show. I literally learned like so much from her. It's absolutely crazy, her podcast. Mind Your Business podcast is really good as well as the Game Changers podcast by Erin May Henry, which is really social media focused, which is great if you want to work in a social media agency. Then when it comes to skills, I also have one more kind of ninja tip for you. Hop on LinkedIn and then look up people where you really admire their position. I would look at their profiles on LinkedIn and see like what skills they are advertising, what skills they have, what personality, attributes, traits they put into their profile. And I think that is really, really good to kind of know, okay, those are the skills that they have, so that's what I should build as well if I want to work in a similar position. Not only looking at like one job advert, I would look at many, many different ones and really make a list of all the attributes that they would like to see in you, and then you can take a lot of inspiration from that. Okay, and then besides working on yourself, what is also incredibly important when you apply for an internship is to understand and know the company that you are applying for. So here it really depends whether you work in a social media agency or in a corporate. So whether you work in an agency that has a lot of different clients, different businesses, different industries, or whether you work for one specific company and you only do their social media. It really, really depends. Understand like what client they have, what problem they solve, what is their unique selling point, what are their values. Some social media agencies only have clients in a specific industry, or some have clients in a specific region, how they portray themselves. Like some agencies or some businesses are more fun or more spiritual, more serious, more number-based. Make your application fit that through, you know, reading on their website and maybe researching who is working there. You really have to understand their company, because only then you can convey how you are gonna benefit them. Only if you understand what they want, you can tell them, okay, I'm gonna get you what you want because I have those skills, because I'm that kind of person. And that is also why it's so important that every application you send is specifically for that company. You cannot copy paste applications. Now, after you've hopefully sent your application, you might get an interview, which is really exciting. So I wrote down a few questions that if I would hire people as an intern, as a social media agency, I would ask them. And those are also questions that I was asked, so I want to share them with you. What does good content marketing mean to you? Who is your favorite influencer and why? What differentiates good and bad storytelling? Where do you see social media heading in the future? What is your personal 5-year vision? What would you specifically add and contribute to our team? How could we improve as a social media agency? What is generally really important in an interview is that you are bold enough to be opinionated. You need to have a point of view. You need to have a strong opinion. A big value that companies get from interns, I mean, obviously they're a cheap workforce, but other than that, like, they bring in new ideas. You have to stand behind your creative point of view. And I know that this is not the easiest, especially because sometimes as an intern you feel like you are below other people. I was super blessed when I did my internship that they never made me feel like I was beneath them. You have something to offer and you have to be proud of that. And that also leads me to the last kind of area that I want to talk about and give you tips about: your personality, and how do you really create a personal brand for yourself that is convincing, that really excites people, and that in the end makes them hire you. You have to be opinionated, you have to be honest, and you have to be confident within yourself. Only when you believe in yourself and when you believe yourself what you're saying will other people believe you. Confidence is not something you can like journal about and then it will magically happen. It's something that you learn. Even if you don't have prior job experience, build your own brand. Work with other people on social media. Social media is a creative industry, so everyone has their own creative opinion and you are allowed to have that as well. So embrace that. So you have to be really convincing with everything that you say, and I think generally this is a skill you have to have when you work in marketing. Really cool YouTube channel, it's called Charisma on Command, which they have so many cool videos. I will leave below my favorite videos of them, but they have such good advice on how to be really influential, confident, how to be charismatic. This is just so important, honestly. It's really important that you have a clear vision. I know maybe you're just now in university, or you haven't even started university, you just finished university, you might not have a clear vision, but in all honesty, they don't give a about that. By asking you that, they just want to know that you have goals and that you are driven, you are passionate, you have a direction, and that just shows that you are committed to success. They don't want an employee or an intern who's just like, oh yeah, we'll just see, you know, go with the flow. Here, obviously, what they also want to know is if maybe in the future they could potentially hire you. So if you could imagine working in corporate or working with them, be really honest about that and say, yeah, I could totally imagine like working for a company like yourself. You have to know your own unique selling point. That is really also what I believe personal branding is about, creating a personal brand that is unique, knowing yourself and knowing how you can transfer your own experience to a skill or towards really this unique selling point. Oh hey there, it's Future Laura again. So if you have watched this video until here and you haven't downloaded the free PDF workbook, Find Your Own Personal USP yet,
make sure to do so. Link is down below in the description box. You do not want to miss out on that. I offer a lot of journaling prompts, exercises, a lot of tips and tricks on how you can really make yourself stand out and show your best side when you apply for an internship or a job. So check it out.
For me, what was my unique selling point, I think, with my social media internship was really my own social media presence, that I have already worked as a freelance social media marketer with different clients. My editing skills, my video skills, which I gained from YouTube, as well as my content marketing and copywriting skills, which I learned through my own social media presence, as well as learning a lot about that. That's exactly what you want to create as an intern, and for that you have to own what you can do, and you have to really be confident in what you can offer and know what you can offer. And again, that's where personal branding, finding your unique selling point, is very, very important. Wow, I just talked for 30 minutes. I hope I can kind of cut the video down, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I really wanted to make it as valuable as possible for you guys. And why is everyone noisy in here? If you guys enjoyed this, if you found this valuable, make sure you give it a thumbs up, you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I wish you good luck with your application, with whatever you want to achieve with your dreams and goals. I know that you can do it, and I wish you all the best. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.